Today we're reacting to the storyteller that is pretty. These are scary tellers.
First time that I ever really got scared robbing a bank. I walked into his
He robbed a bank? What the?
first bank branch. I robbed 3 of those. And there was a man sitting there with a newspaper. And I walked up to the counter, and I wrote my note, and he didn't move. The line is extraordinarily long this time, and I'm standing there, and I keep looking at this guy, and he's not moving. He's not flipping pages. He's just sitting there. And I thought, you're me, that cannot be like law enforcement. I was only 1 or 2 more people, and I said, oh, I forgot my ID. So I left. A guy did try to follow me, and I heard him yelling, hey, you, stop. I can run 2 miles in just over 11 minutes. That fool ain't gonna catch me. Come to find out, that was an FBI agent. First time that I ever really got scared, robbed.
How does it make you feel when you see Mark Zuckerberg and all these billionaires creating these nuclear bunkers?
Whoever's in their bunker is working on a backup generator, and that backup generator has only so much fuel. And if you can't pump fuel ever again, you suffocate in your nuclear bunker. You just explode a nuclear weapon 300 miles above Oklahoma, and goodbye, the power grid.
Who survives?
Who would want to survive? In essence, 5 billion people will die. The people that minutes and hours of the fireballs, the fallout, and then the nuclear winter. You'd have like this small group of people who would essentially become hunter-gatherers again, because you'd have to be an advanced prepper with military training to be able to survive.
This is my first day in prison. They send me to my new cell, and this time I walk in and my cellie's already living there. And you can tell this guy's been in there a minute because he's got junk food and commissary and sneakers all over the place. This is a guy who's got some time under his belt, and he introduces himself to me and he says, I'm Jimmy. He was the shot caller for the Hells Angels, the most powerful gang in the entire Oregon Department of Corrections. He was the #1 dude at Two Rivers. And he said to me, are you scared to die? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, are you scared to go? And I was like, yeah. And then he reaches underneath his pillow and he pulls out a burner, a shank. Well, I guess you'll decide which one you're more afraid of. And then he passes it to me and he goes, here, that's yours. Don't ever leave the cell block without this. And he was the reason I made it out of that place alive. And man, he saved my life. This is my first day in.
A 15-year-old boy is fighting with his dad. Kid runs away from home. He gets to San Jose International Airport. Not the best security at San Jose Airport. He walks up to a chain link fence and climbs over a chain link fence, and now he's down on the tarmac. He looks at the closest plane, goes up to that plane, climbs up into the wheel well, which has a little kind of compartment in the wheel well, curls himself up in a ball, and sits there. The plane takes off. The kid had no idea where this plane would be going. What he doesn't know is that this is a Hawaiian Airlines flight destined for Maui. The plane takes off 50 degrees below zero at 30,000 feet for 5.5 hours. The kid passes out. He should have, but he survives this thing. The plane lands in Maui, and the ground crew sees him hop down onto the tarmac and start walking around. And they're like, oh my God, what happened? They go and get him. They call security. The cops from the FBI are called. The kid is interviewed, and his story's solid. So much could have gone wrong for him.
Ow. Oh my gosh.
There was a guy they called the Mexican Tony Soprano. He'd been cellies with a guy for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And listen, this guy, he didn't have a care in the world. Literally, he just got like a 30-piece. They haven't sent him to prison yet. He's getting regular visits. And you're like, he don't have a care in the world. And one day his cellies like talking about how his baby's mama's car broke down. And he goes, well, what's the problem? And he's like, oh, no, she needs a new car. And he goes, give me your address. He goes, what? He said, give me your address. I got a friend that knows a guy that has a car lot. I'll try and get her a car. And he's like, gives him the address. I don't know if it was the next day or a couple hours later. Somebody shows up with like an Acura that was like 2 years old. It was a brand new Acura. Showed up, it was like, here it is, sign here. And when he called her, she was like, I don't know what just happened. This guy just showed up, we'll find over a car. He said, well, how much is it? And she's like, no, he said it's my car. He gave me the car. There was a guy they called.
How are the inmates treating you as a cop? Regardless whether you're a good cop or anything, you're labeled as a pedophile.
Guys look at you like you're the cop that locked them up. You are the cop that put all them guys, even though I'm not the cop that arrested this guy, you're a cop in jail. So right away, everyone there hates you. I couldn't avoid trouble. Anywhere I went, this guy with a SWAT head. WP on his arm for white power. I sit at a table that was quiet to eat my first meal, and he looks at me and says, man, you got to get the fuck this table. And I just sat there and I ate slow, and I would just look at him every once in a while and just eat. Fuck this guy. You're not going to scare me. You want to fight, we'll fight. I don't mind fighting. I don't want to fight, but I'm not going to be punked while we're in here either. Big black guy comes up to the door. Hey man, how you doing? Can I help you out? You need anything? And all of a sudden, one step, two steps. And I knew what was coming because I looked behind him and I saw a guy kind of peeking in the door like this. And I'm like, I'm going to get jumped. So he came up. He's like, nice to meet you. As soon as he stuck his hand out, I caught him right on the chin and I leapt on him and I just started hitting as hard as I could. And within minutes, the COs were there. They broke it up. That was it for that guy giving me problems.
How are the inmates treating you as a...
The fall smart living sale ends Monday.
Hey!
I was in the library one day, and there was this guy. He's reading like a magazine, flipping the magazine. He's got hair braids, spot on like you would think. Mannerism, this is a woman. And this massive black guy. He's got to be 6'2". Looks like he's on just massive. Comes in the library, and everybody goes, holy shit, look at that. You could tell he's never been in the library. He walks up to the guy, and he goes, can I talk to you outside? The guy's flipping the pages. Baby, please, can I talk to you outside? And his baby goes, I don't like the way you talk to me in front of your friends. Baby, please, can I talk to you outside? He touches the punk, and the punk goes, oh, baby, please, can I talk to you outside? Please, baby, please. The guy gets up. He put his hand on his back. He goes, don't touch me. And he's like, oh, sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Looks around at everybody. We're all looking right back at our papers and reading our books. And like, I'm not looking. I was so humiliated for this guy. I was sitting in the library when Itchy was a black guy who had hair that he never combed. It was like a rock. Itchy was schizophrenic. Itchy would walk right across the grass, and the cops would be like, Itchy! He had a catchphrase. So the cops would yell at him, and they'd be like, Itchy, come here! And he'd walk over, what? Told you not to walk across. Now you go down the sidewalk. And he'd go, all right. And he'd go, fine. He'd start walking off. He'd go, I still want my dick sucked. And they'd be like, Itchy! Crazy. He'd walk up and start yelling at guys and give them coffee.
How old was this guy?
40 or 50. So there's this guy going, this is crazy. And there was a new guy who just come to prison, and he got like 5 or 6 years. I don't even know why he was in the medium. He probably shouldn't have even been there. I go, bro, that guy right there? Bro, that guy used to own banks in the Cayman Islands. And he goes, you serious? And I went, yeah, bro. I said, he was on like the cover of like Forbes magazine. He was laundering money. I go, that dude's a fucking genius. Jeez. And he goes, he's crazy. I said, this guy was complaining about how much time he got, like 4 years. And I go, well, some people can't handle the time. They just snap. And he was like, Itchy was a black guy who...
5 long months.
This guy army crawled under this guy's bunk and stole his ham sandwich. Dude wakes up to eat his ham sandwich. He's like, where the f***'s my ham sandwich? So now everyone's trying to figure out who stole the sandwich. I'm sitting there, I know who did it. I don't give a shit. Laughing. Eventually they figured out it was him. During lunch one day, the guards come, drop off lunch, and he taps out of the tank. And tapping out of the tank is like, yo, get me the f*** out of here, I'm about to get. That's what we called it, tapping out. Pound on the door. Come get me, Dap, come get me. But he didn't do that. He just walked out and was like, yo, you gotta get me out of here. He told him he was suicidal. They take him to an ISO cell, put him in the turtle suit. They ended up 3 days later bringing him back to our tank. He didn't think that was gonna happen. I watched this dude, and he got jumped. Like, I've never heard a human being make the sound that his body made. He sounded like a dial-up modem. Like, he was making noises I'd never heard before, and I just watched this guy get beat over a ham sandwich. There was this guy, army.
You know what K2 is?
Yeah, synthetically.
Guys will strip their clothes off, think they're on fire, run around scream.
Really?
Run naked across the compound. The guards will surround them. Guys will smoke it in the bathroom at 11 o'clock at night.
One guy hit it one time, fell back on the floor. Boom, passed out. The next guy grabbed the joint out of the dude's hand that passed out, hit it, boom, passed out. And then the guard comes in and says, he thinks he knocked the 2 guys out in the fight. He said, what the f*** fighting these guys? And then he sees the joint in one dude's hand, and he's like, did you smoke the
taking guys to the hospital? Got them on respirators.
Yeah, he said
laying in bed, screaming and hollering. They're on fire. And you know you got the same badge he got. And then you immediately go in the bathroom and smoke your shit. That's a guy's on fire. I want to be on fire. You know what K2 is?
What's the craziest story?
I always want to cry for this. They took this dude into the corner, and there was 4 people standing around this dude. They were talking to him, whatever. The one dude hit him. He went into the door and fell down. He got knocked out. He's laying on the ground. People know, when you put a lock in a sock and you hit somebody, they hit this kid, and his eyeball popped out. Just pop. They were stomping. There was no mercy. There was nothing. It was like it was a teddy bear, dude. These dudes had no sympathy. They in that back open, they stomp on his head. Dude, I've seen it over and over again, but that dude, his eyes popped out. That wasn't the first time I've seen somebody's eye pop out. I've probably seen somebody's eyes pop out more than I've seen people get stabbed. I've seen a lot of people stabbed because it was lock and sock. They hit you from behind, they hit you right here, they break your socket. It just comes out. Some of them come all the way out, some come out. Dude, like it's
What's the craziest story?
The worst thing I saw, I'm in the library and this gay guy or a transgender, legs crossed, just ridiculous. And this guy walks in the library, a black guy who's 6'2", who's got a life sentence. He works out all the time. He looks like he's on steroids. He's just a genetic freak. You know, has never known the library. And he walks in, he walks right up to the punk and he goes, "Can I talk to you outside?" The punk just flips the magazine. The guy looks around and goes, "Baby, please, can I please talk to you outside, please?" And I was like, "Please, baby, please." And the punk goes, "I don't like the way you talk to me in front of your friends. Baby, please talk to me outside. Please, baby, please." And you're like, this is the most humiliating thing I've ever seen. The punk gets up and goes to walk outside. While they're walking outside, he goes to put his hand on the guy's arm. And he goes, I mean, just like a woman would do. "Oh, baby, please." It was so humiliating. 5 minutes later, the punk comes, sits down. The big guy comes back in, walks over and he's like, "Please, God, please talk to you outside. Please, I'm sorry, baby." It was the most pathetic thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I felt horrible for that guy. The worst thing I saw.
All right, there's a lot of
this gay guy or
there's a lot of curse words in this video, so my editor will edit the curse words out, and I'm gonna end this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, chat. Peace.